Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the most up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. We're going to get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are mixed this morning, with S&P futures down 0.09%, Dow futures up 0.12%, and NASDAQ futures down 0.17%. Markets see fluctuation today as concerns over the highly infectious Delta strain of COVID-19 has stoked caution amongst investors. Shares of Morgan Stanley has boosted over 3% in pre-market trading after the bank stated that it will double its quarterly dividend. Treasury has remained steady while oil shares are slipping and gold has headed for the biggest monthly drop in over 4 years. Over in Europe, the Stock 600 traded modestly higher while the issue of the Delta strain has caused cruise operators and airlines to continue to slide. Over in Asia, an MSCI index of Asia Pacific shares has also declined in light of the struggles to contain the Delta variant. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
Hi, Shane. I've been watching the S&Ps all morning long, and they've been bouncing back and forth between gains and losses. They're currently slightly down. The trading range is very narrow, but you got a lot of positive news that I think will continue to help this market today. You know, that Facebook news about how the judge dismissed the antitrust complaint against Facebook, that's still positive. You've got a lot of these regulators coming after a lot of these big tech firms. This is a good win for the group. The United Airlines news about them purchasing 270 new aircraft. That's big news. The major banks coming out and announcing that they're going to be increasing their dividend payments after they all pass the Fed stress test. That's a big positive. You look over in Europe, the indexes are all positive. Oil is muted because of the upcoming OPEC meeting. So with these positive news indications for the stocks in the S&P and the Dow Jones Industrial Average, I see the market moving a little higher this morning.
Let's talk about earnings to watch today. Bill, what are we seeing as far as earnings go?
Miller Herman, that's ticker MLHR, Michael, Larry, Henry, Robert, they delivered a 17-cent beat on higher revenue last night. The stock's trading lower by 4%. Now, the reason why is because of the forward EPS guidance. They came in much lighter than expected, much lower than the estimates, and that's why they're pushing the stocks down. But the company continues to believe that when people start returning to work, that the need for office furniture is going to increase, and Miller Herman will be there to provide supply. So where they lowered their forecast, they're still upbeat on the prospects of their business for the third and fourth quarters of the year.
How about insights as far as upcoming earning announcements?
National Beverage, that's ticker FIZZ, Frank India Sam Zebra. Frank India Zebra. They're releasing today after the close. Estimates are for 40 cents. You're looking for an 11.8% move. Bed Bath & Beyond, that's ticker BBBY, boy, yellow. They're releasing tomorrow morning. EPS estimate is for 8 cents. You're looking for a 14.6% move here. And General Mills, it's ticker GIS, Grace India Sam. They're also releasing Wednesday morning. They have an EPS estimate of 84 cents. We're looking for a 4.4% move according to the models.
Moving into our economic reports, Bill, tell us what we're seeing for reports today.
Well, at 8:55, we have the Johnson's Red Book on retail sales coming out. At 9 a.m., we have the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. And at 10 o'clock, the all-important consumer confidence numbers will be released. Little Fed speak today. Richmond Fed Bank President Thomas Parkin will be speaking later this morning at 9 a.m. to be exact.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with some acquisition stories. Starting with one on AIA Group, ticker AAIGF. The company has agreed to invest $1.86 billion for a 24.99% equity stake in China Post Life Insurance. Other equity news, Builders First Source, ticker BLDR, has acquired software company WTS Paradigm for $450 million. Builder's share price is up 0.66% in pre-market. JFrog, ticker FROG, is set to acquire software producer Vidu Connected Trust for $300 million. JFrog is up 0.72% in pre-market. Southwest Gas, ticker SWX, is set to acquire Riggs Distler for $855 million in cash. And JP Morgan, ticker JPM, is set to acquire financial tech company Open Invest on undisclosed terms. JPM's share price is down 0.15% in pre-market. In other news, Bristol Myers, ticker BMY, has received European Union approval for the use of Optivo in adult patients with mismatch repair deficiency. Bristol Myers share price is up 0.15% in pre-market. Other pharmaceutical news, Merck, ticker MRK, the company has received approval for its treatment Keytruda from the European Commission in patients with carcinoma of the esophagus. Merck's share price is up 0.27% in pre-market. Moving into some news that we had mentioned a little bit earlier, United Airlines, ticker UAL, has purchased 270 new Boeing and Airbus aircrafts. And just to note, this is the largest order that this airline's made in history, and it's the biggest by a single carrier in a decade. So United expects to create about 25,000 unionized jobs by 2026 as a result of adding the new aircrafts. The order includes 200 Boeing 737 Maxes and 70 Airbus A321neos. United's share price is up about 0.25% in pre-market, while Boeing's share price is up 0.73% in pre-market. Other news on Boeing: International Space Station astronauts announced that they have installed 2 solar arrays for the company that will produce twice the power in half the space of the original arrays. So great tech news from Boeing on what they accomplished there. And to note too, interestingly enough, it was delivered by SpaceX. In other news, Alibaba, ticker BABA, and the provincial government of Jiangsu are nearing a deal to acquire stake in the Chinese e-commerce company Suning.com. If the deal goes through, billionaire Zhang Jindong will no longer have control of the company. Negotiations are ongoing and talks could still fall apart. An announcement is expected to be as soon as this week. Alibaba's share price is down 1.09% in pre-market. Lastly, for me, news on Tesla, ticker TSLA, and contemporary Amperex Tech have extended a deal in which the Chinese firm will supply the car maker with battery cells to December 2025. Tesla is down 0.39% in pre-market. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
You know, Shane, I break my news alerts down into specific segments. I'm looking for specific industries. I'm looking for specific events. I look when the news comes in, and I'm looking to see if they can capture an opportunity as soon as these stories hit the tape. I look at my FANG alert every morning to see what's going on. Apparently, the White House is working on an antitrust executive order that aims to push the government agencies to consider competition concerns in their decision-making process. You look at Facebook, this really happened last night. A federal judge on Monday dismissed the antitrust lawsuits the federal government and most states have brought against Facebook. The lawsuit was legally insufficient, according to the judge. The judge did give the government 30 days in an attempt to file an amendment to their lawsuit. So it's not over, but it's a real black eye for the government in this lawsuit. Google, that's ticker GOOG, antitrust investigations at the U.S. Justice Department are looking at Google's digital ad market practices. Also, multiple users last night were complaining about outages in Google. We're talking YouTube, we're talking Gmail type services. Apparently, these outages happened late last night. I look at the sector of big tech and Microsoft. Microsoft is the only big tech firm really not under investigation, but Microsoft really has learned to make nice with the regulators. If you remember, between 2000 and 2012, Microsoft just sat at $45 to $50 for years, as they were under regulations, as they were under the thumb of the regulators. Amazon, that's ticker AMZN, according to the Wall Street Journal, Amazon has maintained a considerable lead in the cloud infrastructure market, generating more than twice the cloud revenue as the number 2 competitor, which is Microsoft. Moving on to my Dow Jones 30 alert, Goldman Sachs, the banking sector, we spoke about this yesterday. We said that, hey, these guys, the banks are going to likely increase their dividends after the close, and sure enough, they did. Goldman Sachs increased their dividend by 75 cents last night, and the entire banking sector did, with the exception of Citibank. Microsoft, they came out and they said their Xbox Cloud Gaming is now open to Game Pass Unlimited members, who are utilizing Windows 10 PCs. At Disney, it's ticker DIS. They're postponing their test crews. Inconsistent data, with respect to virus results. This is a big profit money maker for Disney, and they're not taking any chances. Johnson & Johnson, as we reported yesterday, Johnson & Johnson paid the state of New York to absolve them from this trial, the opioid trial. But New York State's going to be taking Teva Pharmaceuticals, Cardinal Health, and other drug manufacturers to court and drug distributors to trial. They're seeking to hold these guys liable for fueling the opioid crisis that has caused nearly $500,000 deaths, or 500,000 deaths over the last decade. You're looking at my option headlines that I'm seeing. I'm looking at the banks. Goldman Sachs 30-day option implied volatility is at 26. 52-week range is 22 to 48 as they go into plans to increase their dividend payment to $2 from $1.25. You look at Bank of America, ticker BAC, the 30-day option implied volatility is at 27. The 52-week range is 24 to 52 as they raise their quarterly dividend by 17%. Wells Fargo, the ticker WFC, William Frank Charlie, their 30-day option implied volatility is at 35 compared to the 52-week range of 27 to 61. And this is into their plans of a roughly $18 billion share repurchasing program. You're looking at events today. A couple events to keep a note of. CarMax, that's ticker KMX, at 1 p.m. today. They're going to be starting their annual shareholders meeting. But this morning at 8:30, Jack in the Box, ticker JACK, Jack, they're starting their Investors Day today. So, there could be something positive coming out of these meetings. You got to pay attention to them. In terms of guidance stories that are coming out today, Remy Quantro, that's ticker REMYY, Ralph Edward Mary Yellow. Citibank opened a positive catalyst watch on Quantro ahead of the results. They believe that the recent stock weakness is overdone, and they put a positive catalyst watch on the stock ahead of the company's Q1 sales results. Ticker SRE, Sam Richard Edwards. This is Sempra Energy. They raised their 21 EPS estimates to $7.75 to $8.35. The old estimates were $7.50 to $8.10, and the consensus was $8.09. So it's a big move higher for Sempra Energy, ticker SRE, Sam Richard Edward. That's the news stories I'm seeing today, Shane.
Moving into our Trade Talk picks for today, I'm picking Stars Constellation, as ticker STZ. So they've got earnings coming out tomorrow morning, and they're expected to have a 4.5% move before the market opens. Goldman Sachs argues that investors, they're going to be pleasantly surprised by the Spirit Makers results. An analyst for them even said that they reiterated their buy rating of $275 price target, and talking about the problems they've had, for example, is that the demand for Constellation products, especially for Corona Extract and Modelo Especial, it continues to outspace supply. It's a good problem to have. And so with that being said, this should actually be something that's pretty positive for them as we see how they end up doing in earnings tomorrow morning. So that's my pick. What's yours looking like, Bill?
I have to go with Boeing, ticker BA, boy, Apple. That plane order is a real positive. If you looked at the stock, we were watching it yesterday. It was getting weak. It traded down to that 238 range. That sell-off was really overdone. That sell-off was caused by a comment from the FAA that the 777 planes are not going to be certified to 2023. But this United plane order of more than 200 737 MAX planes, that's worth $30 billion. Plus, they were awarded an Air Force contract, which is worth $128 million. These are the 737s. They've already been approved. They've already been certified. They're good to go. And these planes will be, they're not going to be coming delivered tomorrow. They're in the future, but that's a huge order for Boeing. So I'm expecting Boeing to be trading higher significantly today. A nice percentage move there.
Yeah, not to forget either, they also had that move they did with the International Space Organization. Selling their raise to them. Yeah, it's a great move all around for sure. Well, moving into what's hot off the press, this is a news that's hitting the tape as we speak that will be moving the stocks today. Let's go ahead and get into it. So looking at our newswire alerts, Bill, which are the ones we should be letting traders know about?
Just saw a story, hit the tape. Bank of America securities clients continue to have record outflows from growth stocks. Instead, they're betting on infrastructure stocks. That means they're selling tech, they're selling communication services, and they're plowing into industrials, real estate, and materials.
Here's one on AbbVie, ticker ABBV. AbbVie just announced today that their treatment for ulcerative colitis, its study met primary endpoints in its phase 3. So it's good news for them.
Ticker HOME, HOME, Henry, Oscar, Mary, Edward. This is At Home Group. A shareholder is calling for the company to release their Q2 interim sales results. This is CAS Investment Partners, which owns about 17% of the shares outstanding.
One on Walmart, ticker WMT. The company just announced launch of its own private brand of analog insulin. A lot of people buy that. That could be something that really boosts them.
I agree. Ticker LB, Larry Boyd, Victoria's Secrets announces a proposed $500 million offering of senior notes. Oh, here's one, PRPL, Paul, Richard, Paul, Larry, Purple Innovations. They dropped 12% to $24.50 after cutting their Q2 guidance. Purple, PRPL, Purple Innovations.
One on Playboy, ticker PLBY. The company is buying Honey Birdette, an Australian lingerie company, for $333 million cash.
Amgen, ticker AMGN, they're going to be conducting a conference call tomorrow to discuss phase 2 results of the drug for the first oral bone building material.
InMed Pharma, ticker INM, is set to acquire Bay Medica.
Here's one from Dow Jones. Amazon is demanding one more thing from some vendors, a piece of their company. Looking into the story, suppliers who want to land in Amazon.com as a client for their goods and services can find their business come up with a catch. The right for Amazon to buy big stakes in their companies at potentially steep discounts to market value, which is exactly what I saw a while ago when a company came out with their AK and they listed that they were giving Amazon like thousands of shares at a penny.
Western Union, ticker WU, is partnering with Linkso, a French fintech company, to launch local and cross-border digital money transfers. Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing today, Shane.
Same here, so that'll do it for what's hot off the press. But traders, keep in mind you can receive the same breaking stories that we do simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out for a free trial today. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Monday. I had DraftKings, ticker DKNG, which opened at $51.71 and went up as high as $52.71 at the close for a 1.93% gain. So pretty good move for us. Even if you came in a little bit later, it actually went down a little bit. So you probably would have made it more closer to 2% or a little higher. So good move all around. How'd yours end up doing, Bill?
I did McCormick and Company, the ticker MKC, Michael Kilo Charlie. Stock opened up at 87.63, ran up to 88.71. That's a move of 1.23%. Settled down and closed at 88.15. But you look at the stock this morning, it's back to the 88.50 level. So it was a nice 1% move there for McCormick and Company.
Nice. Good picks all around. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk with Traders. You know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.